Hello, 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 Cancer. How are you guys? I hope you guys are better than I am at the moment. No, I just got done doing a reading with Pisces, and we had a big power surge. I mean, like off on, off on. I was like, okay. And I've never had that in 11 years in this house, so I'm not quite sure. Anyway, threw my energies off there for a second. We got it done. But if you see that there's going to be another reading for Pisces, that's why, because it just threw my energies and everything off. And they didn't get a question and answer session. So I want to say welcome, welcome. So for those of you that are brand new, thank you for popping in. And you're like, what is that all about? What do you mean? So I'm Patty, and I'm an empath and extremely intuitive empath with all kinds of set. Maybe my energies just blew the whole thing. No, I'm just joking. But I actually do intuitive readings and coaching and spiritual coaching, stuff like that. I do, I can't even speak now. I do intuitive readings with or without tarot. I like doing them with tarot, so that's why I'm here. But as far as coaching, like getting you through your tough storms, all that kind of stuff, most of the times they're not with tarot, but I can throw them in if you like. So, and if you want to do a booking, you can go down below and see where those are. If you're brand new also, please go to the About page, and you'll be able to go on a little short video to see how I do my readings, because they're unique to most readers, because I pull everything from messages down at the moment. And we go with what the divine is trying to share with you. And you're like, well, really? Is it really the divine? Well, I don't know who he sends through. I asked for his first, a guidance, and who he sends through, I don't know. Could be your ancestors, could my ancestors. So with that said, I am going to talk a little bit about some changes with the channel. So this is where I'll start the new news. So you'll see that I'm going to run a little bit of a pattern so that I can timestamp. So apparently people want to have it timestamped, which I have no problem doing. Excuse me. A tickle in my throat. So I will be timestamping from the new news, and then I'll timestamp from the reading, and then I'll timestamp when I do a recap, and then I'll timestamp for the Q&A. So yeah, so I am doing my readings live, just like this last Pisces. Sometimes things happen, sometimes things fall into place, and we'll refix that. But it also means that the vibrations are fresh, live, the energies are live, and actually the way that they are at the moment. That's why I try to do these readings as close as I can to the actual week that is going to be coming up. I don't want to do them too far out, because then the vibrations can totally change. But the thing, and they can change any day, but still, this is what we're going with. So with that, readings are going to be live. And yes, you can ask questions and answer, and I can answer questions. The thing is, with question and answers, we're going to do them at the end of the reading, only because I don't want to lose the vibes and the energies of the reading. So if you have a question, please hold it until about the middle or so. I will sort of let you know when I'm not getting as much feedback or anything for the reading, and we'll probably be wrapping it up. But then during the time of the recap, you can go ahead and put the answers or your questions in, and I'll be glad to answer them. Now, I'll answer one or two, depending on which question the divine actually wants to pick. That's up to the divine. Just please understand that any answers that I give you are majority, 99% of the time, maybe 98% of the time, is divine, not me. So I can give you wisdom through experience, because I am much older and I've been through too much. Don't want you to ever go through all the stuff that I've gone through. But the thing is that truth, I walk in the truth. So if you're asking a question about dating, or actually asking a question about, is this soulmate going to be with me, or is, you know, he coming back, or she coming back, just know that if you ask that question, I'm going to speak the truth of what I'm being told. Okay, so you can go with that. So don't shoot the messenger is what I'm trying to say, because I walk in the truth. I'm not going to pacify somebody. I'm going to walk in the truth. So with that said, last little piece of new news is you're on my new channel. Yes, there isn't as many as there used to be because I screwed up and I'm a boomer and I didn't know how to set up YouTube. So now we had to start all over. So we've been on this new channel for about a week, not quite a week. So I thank you if you subscribe. If you want to know when I'm going to be on live, you'll have to subscribe, hit the bell, and it will alert you when I'm on a live. You don't have to be on your sign to ask a question. I prefer that, but you don't have to be. So, and at the very down below, you'll see donations. Yes, you can put a donation. That goes towards actually the production cost for me because I'm going to have to buy some software and things I'm learning. So this is something you don't have to donate. This is all free to you. It's appreciated and I'm very grateful for it, but you don't have to. And at the very, very bottom, Get Balanced 2020 on the bottom is my other web page. It actually is my main web page and YouTube channel. And this is just a branch off of that. So if you do go ahead and donate, you'll see it'll say Get Balanced 2020 purposes for Divine Intuitive Warrior. All right. That said, let's get started because that's what you guys want to do, right? So thank you for the new ones and ones returning. Please subscribe, hit that bell if you want notifications. All right. So Cancer, let's get started. Hopefully we're going to have a good reading here. Last readings have been phenomenal. Phenomenal. Pisces went all over the place only because that power surge really threw me. In fact, I feel a little funny. So we'll see how this goes. Energies are all over the place. If this is the card that you want to be out, please have that show up again, please. I don't know if it was my shuffling or if it was the divine. Nope. I'll make sure though, although it's pretty close. Is there anything else for the... So for those of you that are brand new, what I'm doing is I'm pulling out the energies and vibrations and the focus point for next week. Sometimes the divine will ask me to pull one towards the middle or the end. It's not that common, but if I'm confused... Oh my gosh, seriously. I might as well just put that card right out because it's coming out almost every single time. Okay. But, not usually he won't ask me to pull one out, but sometimes do. And just understand, I call my divine he. It's just I've done that all my life. I don't know why, I just do. Because divine is not he or she. Divine is I am. Energy. That's what divine is. And love. Divine is love. A love that we can never fathom or understand. It's a endless infinity type of love. It's amazing. It's amazing. Anyway, let's get started. Oh, you'd like to know what they are, right? I'm ready to just go. Okay. So this little guy keeps showing up almost in every reading. So divine is really working on everybody. It's amazing. You see me shuffle. I can't make this stuff up, but the listening is on almost every single one. It's amazing. So this is actually, if you look at the elephant, you're going to see the little birdie at top. Those little notes are actually very gentle, kind. It's very calming, soothing. The elephant is really relaxed, very passively actively listening to the music. So very active listener, which is a good thing. Now the ghost lands, we're going to read a little bit about that. I haven't seen that one show up for a while. I have a feeling I remember what it is, but I just can't remember. Too many cards, too many things, numbers and astrology and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so whenever you set your sights too far ahead, you run the risk of losing your footing, for rarely do the present and the future match up exactly on the enchanted map that your life story is. The future has no substance right now. It is a place that has no grounding as of yet. And you can't live there, yet you can take measured steps toward a goal or a dream. The steps are important now. Well, and if you know anything about divine and spirit, sorry, I've got allergies or something going on. Apologize. We do have to think in the now. the now is the only thing that we have. And you're like, yeah, but you know, my mom and dad always told me to plan for the future, or that's how we grew up. Well, it is to a point, because here's the thing. You can gather and gather and gather and gather all the stuff that you want, but who's to say when you're going to pass over? So what are you going to do? So I'm waiting to retire. I'm going to retire. How many times have we seen people retire and then within a week or a month or even 2 months they pass away? It's because we have to understand to live in the now, because that's all we have. And if you look at divine, and you even do some research about divine, there is no time up there. Or actually, we say up there because actually energy dissipates, energy rises, and in that sense, we are energy, we are matter. But the thing is, that's all we have right now. And in the world or dimensions that are actually that we can't fathom, there is no time. It's just infinity. It just is. So what we prepare for and what we worry about may never even come. So that's why it's important to embrace the moment. So who's talking to you, or are you talking to somebody actually in a very kind manner? Let's just do this. Let's just go and do this. Enjoy it right now. And somebody might not be in the same time frame or mind frame. And what happens in that mind frame is that somebody is earthbound thinking and somebody else is spiritual bound thinking. So sometimes that clashes rather than melds together, because usually the earthbound person is more stubborn and more set in their ways, doesn't want to change, wants more stability, all those kind of things. And in this day and age, when we're going through COVID and all these uncertainties, and I'm sorry, but the United States is a mess. And Portland, I live in Portland area, a mess. The COVID stuff, a mess. Our future, a mess. Everything is a mess. So really, the only thing that you should be thinking about right now is now. Plan for the future, but live in the now kind of thing. We have to manifest this. We manifest everything that we are around. We manifest either in truth and love, or we manifest in fear and uncertainty. So which is it you're going to manifest? You're going to worry about the future. You're going to worry about what's going on, what's going to happen. But Patty, I've got a plan. I have to plan. I'm a planner. I'm logical. That's the way I am. Well, that's fine. But don't focus so far out that it's not going to happen. And then what are you going to do? So, because God's going to put a switch back on you somewhere. And that's what happens. Then you got to manifest all over again. So somebody who plans to go to a certain college, something happens, they can't go to that college. Look at now. A lot of kids can't go back to school, or they have to change everything up. You have to sort of go with the flow kind of thing. That happens. So maybe you picked a college out. You can't go to that college now. Things switched up, and now you got to manifest and go a different way. So how are you determining which way you manifest to go? Because you're living in the now. You're either making your choices by earth, or you're making your choices by spirit. Which are you making your choices by? Are you making your choices by what you see and what everything is around? Or are you making your choices by what's in your heart, where your passion is, where your desire is, where your calling is, where your purpose is? Which one are you listening to? That wasn't me. I love it when he does that. Because it makes it easier for me. I'm just the conduit. All right, so let's see what else he has. Sorry, I got a hair there that's tickling my arm. Let's see what else he has here. All right, need to show me what's going on. So we're manifesting, yes. Are we manifesting from our spirit, or are we manifesting from the earth? We get that much. You want us to think about the now and not the future so much, because the now may never be obtained. And I'll tell you that that's probably true. Only because I know that for firsthand is, you know, my little baby brother. Oh, actually, today, by the way, is my mom's birthday. She's passed on. Maybe that's why I'm thinking of him and her. She's passed on, but it's her birthday. She passed away cancer in 2010. This is 2020. And today is July 30th, her birthday. She actually passed on July 18th. The reason why I'm telling you this is I had a younger brother. He was 26 years old. And he was murdered as a taxi cab driver in West Palm Beach, Florida. During that time, the taxi cab driver was murdered the week before him. There was him, and then also another taxi cab driver. The third week, the week we were there, was accosted in his cab. He was carrying a gun, shot the fare, and then he wasn't charged. But my point to this is, my brother was only 26 years old. My mom, she was in her 80s when she passed. She had planned a nest egg to retire and do all that kind of stuff. My brother, 26, never got there. My mother, who actually passed just 2 weeks short of being 85, had planned in her 40s to have a nest egg and live fine. Okay. She got hurt at work. She was a nurse. She got hurt at work. She ended up having a fusion for 2 vertebrae in her back and ended up in a body cast for 6 months, I think. Ended up not being able to walk for 20 years. And until this one doctor came. Now, let me tell you, the divine really knows how to work. Doctor came. I won't even tell you that story because you'll get bored. But that was a miracle in itself. Who this doctor was, when that doctor showed up, because she had worked with this doctor as an intern. She was allowing him to intern under her many years before. And lo and behold, he is the one that had the key to get her to walk again. But what the moral of this whole story, took every dime, every cent that she had, and she ended up living in a situation that she would have never expected. But it was a blessing, because even though she cried and cried and cried and cried to get into that, or being put into that situation, when she surrendered to it and allowed the divine to work in it, she was able to be so happy and in the right place at the right time and help so many people. In fact, she even helped organizations with disabled people and also through elderly and things like that. So, moral to the story is really listen to your spirit, not your head. Listen to the now. You can plan for the future, but don't expect it to turn out the way that you want it to. It's not going to. It's, this fairy tale thought way and pathway. You can try to manifest stuff. Here's the thing about manifesting. If you don't allow the divine to actually manifest it for you, whatever you manifest will not last. Most of the time, it will not last. I won't say all, because there's some people out there that'll say, no, mine lasts. I've been married 45 years and I'm happy, whatever it is. But the thing is, when you try to manifest it, push something into what you want it to be, most of the time it does not work out, because it was not meant to be. Or it was meant to be there just for a short season. You wanted it longer, but the divine is saying no for a short season. So, but you do need to be overseeing. The Hermit's going to say, you know what, you need to be watching. You need to be looking out for things. You need to be making sure that things are aligned and in a row. So yeah, you do need to be watching what's going on. You need to be seeing what is going on. You need to be listening to what is going on around you. And that doesn't mean that you can't have hopes and desires. We all have to have those hopes, desires, goals. We should have those. We should plan a little bit. But what the thing is, thank you, is we don't get upset when the apple cart gets turned for a minute. For example, if I'm planning a vacation and then COVID hits, now I can't. I plan a beautiful vacation to Disney World. COVID hits, I can't go to Disney World. So now I'm upset. Okay, now I'm like, all this money. You got your money back, or you can go again. Not a big deal, but you're all upset and you're lowering your vibrations. You're all this anger and bitterness, rather than saying, you know what, things happen. There's a switch back. It's all going to work out just fine. We're going to go when we're supposed to go. That kind of thing. That's the mentality that you need to be having in order to be able to make it and persevere through anything. That's going with the flow. Because as soon as you think you got your life under control and that you've got things all planned out for that future, the divine's going to come in and say, no, you don't. And he's going to throw a switch. He doesn't do it because he doesn't, if you believe in the universe and all that kind of stuff, that's fine. But that's vibrations. That's nothing to do with your feelings. That's nothing to do with that. Well, it is sort of, but not really. That's a whole different realm. I'm talking about if you believe in a higher power, a higher spirit, a higher energy, that kind of thing. It's not that they love. That's all they are, is love. It's just a love energy. Can you imagine that? But it's also a protecting energy. So they don't want anything to come that is going to disturb that love energy. And so if there is something going to come to harm, something bad, something not good, then actually the divine will step in. Shoo! No vacation for you right now. Maybe your family would have went and got COVID. No vacation for you right now. Whoo, we don't look at the positive part. We just look at like, oh man, now look at this. Look what happened to me. Oh my gosh, what is it? And it happens, everybody's in this mode. I go step outside and everybody's grouchy, angry, upset. Dude, what are you going to do? There's nothing that you can do at this point. Just live your life, try to live it as best as you can and go with it. Listen to the spirit. Okay. Boy, he sure is. He's got these two cards is what he wants me to focus on. Woo. That's a lot of energy right there. Woo. All right. I got an ego in here somewhere. This magician is, even though there could be fresh starts and he's got all his elements and tools there, the pentacle, the cup, the sword, the wand. I don't know, something arrogant going on here, some ego going on here. Yeah. So we got the Three of Wands. Somebody's contemplating, thinking about something, and that would make sense if somebody is actually doing that, because we have the Hermit is actually thinking, observing, going over. And if you notice, the Hermit's got a wand. Wand is spirit. Wand is spiritual. Really, the light is spirit, Keeping in the light, keeping in the spirit, keeping in the wand. The Three of Wands is, thinking about something, and again, thinking off in the far distance, what, should be doing, and should I be planting a new seed somewhere? Should I be going somewhere? That kind of thing. Maybe there is something that you want to do, want to move or something like that. There's nothing wrong with that. You got a plan to do that. So we have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, earthly kind of guy, but he is also he's also very smart. He's very confident. I think that was me. I don't know if that was me or not. So if those cards were supposed to drop out, please have them drop out again, please. If those cards were supposed to drop out, please have those cards drop out again, please. So be confident in whatever you're doing. Be confident. It is of earth, so it will come and go. You know, spirit is always there for a lifetime, so it is more material. Somebody's got a stubborn streak in them as well. I don't know who that's for. Somebody doesn't want to listen. Somebody's got a stubborn streak. Is that what we're thinking about? Is that what we're contemplating? It's like, I can't, I'm hearing, I can't do anything because he's so stubborn. She's so stubborn. I just, you know, can't be heard. I can't be, you know, she doesn't want to listen. He doesn't want to listen. I don't know who that's for, but stubborn. I want to plan this, but they don't want to plan this. I want to do this, but no. So we got a logical mind versus a spiritual mind. Also, Chariot upside down. So there's no movement here. So even though upside down, so they're thinking about future kind of thing. Doesn't look like there's a movement here. Looks like the Chariot is sort of stuck in a place. And again, doesn't mean it's stuck. The Chariot's thinking of now. Because if it was upside right, it'd be moving forward. Which would make sense. Makes sense. All right. Can you clarify a little bit more? Phew. Oh, I know that he's wanting me to go back to the ghost land and the listening, but I think I gave you enough of that. Yeah, and then the everything's in the now. He keeps popping cards that are the now. The Knight of Pentacles is sort of staying. The horse isn't moving. It's staying there. It's even though that he's focused on maybe the future a little bit or what he's looking towards. That actually is a card of standing still. So you've got three things here of standing still, you know, not basically now. So I guess for you guys in Cancer, you need to really just focus in on now. And the listening thing, you know, listening is actually a taught thing. You're either an active listener, or you're not. And, but this is a relationship, whoever it is, because listening, it takes two people. So listening, one person speaking, one person's listening. But you got to have to ask them, are you hearing or are you listening? Do you know the difference between hearing and listening? Okay, so listening is, well, let's go to hearing. Hearing is like if you're talking to somebody, they're on their phone or they're playing a game or whatever, and you're saying, hey, you know, I really saw this thing today, and, you know, I saw Betty Joe, and Betty, where did that come from? I'm old. Betty Joe, you know, she was dating this guy, and his name's Paul, and he's a really nice guy, and they're playing, and they're like, sure, okay. Sort of like guys on the remote, and they're watching, and you're talking to them, and they're like, yep. Sort of like that. And then you say, well, what did I just say? Huh? Something about, that's hearing. That's hearing. Listening is where you take it in, you think about it, you absorb the information, and maybe you'll say something or maybe you won't, but at least you actively heard. And if you want to actively respond and let them know that you're listening, say, okay, so what I heard you say was that Betty Joe has a new boyfriend by name Paul, and he sounds like he's a pretty cool guy. Did I hear that right? Yeah. That's active listening, and that is active communication. So that's just a skill to learn if you don't know that. The other thing, all right, thank you. The other thing is that they're asking me if somebody is speaking and they need to be heard, not, I mean, literally heard, not just in the ear and out this way, is that they're saying, let them finish their sentence. Somebody out there finishes people's sentences for them. Somebody out there is like, okay, oh yeah. And they went to the store, right? Actually, no, they didn't go to the store. They ended up in jail. What? So you're actually finishing their sentence, not knowing what the outcome is. Let them finish it. That is what the divine is saying. Let them finish it. Whatever that is, that's for somebody here. And that is actually active thinking and listening, and everything is in the now. Okay? So manifest that active listening. Okay? That's for this week. That's just this week. Okay? That's the 3rd through the 9th. Oh, I think that's a lot. Let me see if there's anything else the divine wants to share before we wrap this up. And like I said, I'll be wrapping it up, and then there's, if you want to ask questions, you can ask questions. So like now, I would probably say this is a good time to pop your questions up. If you were listening and wanted to ask a question, this would be a good time to do that. All right. So we've got the 4 cups, and that is an offering, but you're not paying attention because you're too busy thinking about something. So, and you're also maybe disappointed about something, and you're not listening or paying attention. So again, whatever, if you're having some issues this week, remember just to stay in the now. And don't think about that future so much. It's like, oh man. And don't do the would-haves, could-haves, I would-have, if-onlys kind of thing, because that's all hypothetical. That is actually not reality. That is what's living in the now is reality. All right. So that was the last thing they wanted me to say. Somebody's out there thinking too much about something right at this point that they're missing out the whole focal point. Okay, so that what I would say. So let's go ahead, and this is a very small spread, but powerful spread. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I sure hope so. So again, the Ghostland is our key focal point. That was the first card out, so we need to be focusing in on now and not the future. And if you are planning on the future, do it wisely, but don't make that your focal point, because things can happen and it may not happen. So switch back, and then maybe too, things will change that you may not want to do that, or may not want to go that way, or whatever. Active listening, this is a very happy, easy conversation between the bird and the elephant. The elephant is the birds, actually, because they're singing to themselves. But the elephant's getting the reward of that active listening. So if you have an active listener, the other person feels validated if you're listening to them. That's the reward. You're feeling validated. You're feeling like you're important. You're feeling like you matter. That's why it's important to learn those listening skills there. We manifest what we want, but we can also manifest good things and bad things. This is a freedom of choice, and we need to manifest what is happening now and focus in on now, because the Hermit is actually overlooking in what is happening now. He's not looking into the future. He's actually looking at what's going on there and what's going on down there right now. What's going on down there right now? And you're actually thinking about things, of course, and we always do, which is good. And we don't want to think about them too much here, because then we miss this offering. Whatever this offering is coming, it's really, really good. And I'm not quite sure why the King of Pentacles is here. Is just stand your ground, be confident in who you are, be strong in who you are. Use your wisdom when listening to somebody, because again, this just reiterates that things are happening in the now. And he's looking forward, but he's not really pushing forward that much. All right. And I beat that into a pulp. Now that I beat that into a pulp, I hope that Divine is happy about that. Because again, I'm the conduit, I'm the messenger, don't shoot the messenger. All right, so this would be the time that I would take questions, and being new on this new channel, there's nobody at this time, but if there is somebody, just make sure that you get your question in. I'd be happy to answer that. Please subscribe down below if you've gotten this far so that you can hit that bell and be notified when I am live, because I am live probably 4 or 5 days of the week for about 3 to 4 hours a day. So you can actually catch me live if you have questions, or you can go to any of the information down below and catch up with me via email or comments or anything like that. So Cancers, this was 3 to 9 for August, and I hope you got something out of that. I hope that was resonated with you. If not, for somebody that you know, share that. And we will see you on August 10th. Oh, by the way, tomorrow's Friday. Come to the collective at 4 p.m. I'll be on live. Take care.